Happy day, everyone. Happy day, Tyler Tomlinson. We're
We
coming
are ready,
here.
baby.
Another Cat Live. No Cat Live. How are things in the Midwest? We're avoiding the storms. Like,
Yeah. No, I didn't see any tornadoes, but they were around.
So, Friday, the entire town of Kansas City shut down. Not even an exaggeration. Every school in the metro Kansas City area got out of school early. Because there's supposed to be this Category 4 storm coming. So all the schools got out early. Parents were panicking. Businesses started shutting down. I was like, man, so I went out and like double weighted down my trampoline. They canceled league play by 2:00, which they've never done. Canceled league play that earlier. It was like Y2K all over again.
Right.
And and Belton got hit really hard. So I don't want to take away from Belton because Belton got hit really hard. But for most of us, it's like a lot of rain. Like that was really it. We bared down for the worst, man. Like it was updating life insurance type bad storm. And like seriously, I mean the entire I don't know how many schools are in Kansas City. Hundreds.
I'm glad we're this prepared for it,
Yeah.
just because it's always possible. But like we've been through more tornado warnings and watches like in this month than I feel like we've had it in a long
agree.
time. And
Yeah.
luckily, not a ton of damage in the Midwest overall from tornadoes. So
Yeah, it's been crazy.
it's that time of season.
It is, man. It's the Midwest. So fun show. We're gonna talk about the new national.
Hold on, how about this transition? Now the
Sound.
winds of change are affecting youth soccer.
You're listening to Cap Chat, the #1 soccer recruitment podcast in the United States.
This is Cap Chat. All right, the winds of change coming in. So we're going to talk about two things. We're going to talk about the National One League, and then Tyler and I kind of have a discussion about confidence. Confidence. We briefly has disagreed on it, so I was like, let's just save this for the air. But I do want to talk about. Let's start. What do you want to start, Tyler? You want to start with the
news? You always got to start with the winds of change. There are news, and we have to deliver the news. That's our responsibility.
Deliver the news for the people. So National League One has come about. So it was previously the league that shall not be mentioned. So previously they called it NewComp. NewComp. So what has happened is U.S. Club and U.S. Youth Soccer are coming together. So basically NPL and National League are coming together to form a league. So NPL will go away, National League goes away, and they're coming together to form one league that is called the National One League. And so, which is really cool. So there'll be 8 conferences, and then the integration of the ECNL Regional League playoffs, so the team can go into that. So I'm gonna read a quote from Mark Franklin, the commissioner of the National League here. He says, National One aligns with the broader goals of the U.S. Soccer Pathway Strategy. The work to connect players into the National One League begins now. Our team will partner with select operators in their respective state associations across the state to develop district-level playoffs that are more inclusive and easier for players and parents to understand. The goal is not to disrupt local leagues, but to connect them into a clear national structure. So, there you go. That is a quote from Mark. Tyler, I know you're not 100% up to speed on this. So if you want to be the voice of our parents and coaches of maybe asking questions and see if I can answer them, and what do you kind of think on what this looks like?
Yeah, so I guess my first question is, is this set up for, does my entire club have to be a part of National One League to play in their platform?
So I think that's one of the coolest things about it is that it is a team-based platform.
Not a club-based.
Not a club-based. So the difference is you have a club-based platform like ECNL or RL or GA or Aspire. And I'm not picking on any of those leagues because I think they're fantastic. So please don't post comments that anyway. But the downfall sometimes is that if you're in ECNL, your entire club has to go into it. So you may have 6 teams. The U17 is really, really good, but the U16 is not. So U16 gets smoked, but U17 is dominating. So that's kind of that can be a tough route. Whereas an individual team-based platform, you can bring one team only into that. And then with this, you'll be able to play in the RL playoffs.
Okay. So I don't need my whole club to be in this league.
Correct.
So maybe you know the answer to this question, maybe you don't, because ECNL is club based
Mm-hmm.
and my team is in the National One League. Can my team move up to the ECNL RL League?
No, the team won't move up, but if you this is what they said. If you consistently are doing well, let's say you eventually have 5 to 6 teams in National League One League, they want to pull from within. So their
They're
goal
more likely to choose you to elevate into the next league
correct.
if you were already participating and doing well in their lower league.
Their goal is to not have they're trying to promote from within, basically. They want to be able to promote the clubs from National One League up into RL, up into ECNL.
But there is no technical promotion.
Not so. League One there's 3 tiers. There's tier 3, tier 2, tier 1. That is relegation promotion. So
Okay.
tier 1 is going to be the top. Tier 2 is going to be in between, and then tier 3 is going to be much more like two states possibly playing together. If you're based in the Midwest, it's what MADL will turn into. So you kind of have you're playing teams across the state. It's much more regionalized, so you're not traveling as far. Tier 2, you travel. Tier 1, you're going to be traveling a little more. That's the highest level of competition. They want you to start at the bottom. Starting next year, especially, no new teams can come directly into Tier 1. You're going to have to work your way up for relegation and promotion, which I like.
Yeah, to me, that's like probably the only flaw that I would say is if it's ECNL, ECNL RL, National One, then but my team really can't. My team's really good for National One, but we'll never go to ECNL RL or higher because our whole club still has to go based off of just the grandfathered in way of how this is how we do things. So it's structured, but it's not tiered in a promotion relegation sense, which I think is a little weird, but
I could see it. Now, the other side of that argument is that you're going to playoffs to play RL teams, and you can continue to advance. So you'll be playing against other RL teams.
sure, yeah, in the playoff side of things.
Yeah, correct. So if you're right. If you're
But
just
you can win that playoff, and then the next year you're in National One League still.
correct,
After you beat every RL team.
correct.
And that's a little weird, but okay.
Yeah, I see that. I see that point. I see the argument there.
Yeah. The other argument that's definitely floating around all the reels and whatnot is if everything's associated with ECNL, why can't they just call all of the leagues ECNL? Like ECNL top, ECNL middle, ECNL
Good
3,
call.
or ECNL 5, and just
because-
make things easier for people. I think the answer is because they don't promote. I mean, they're all related, but there's no promotion, so you can't.
correct.
There's
And I
no direct pathway to get through it.
think ECNL really wants to be a team-based platform. I think it's
Club based.
yeah. And now they may eventually. I don't know, but I think that because they want to be a team-based
Club
platform, the ECNL is a club-based, and these are team-based. So I think that's a separation. I think that would be my guess in the region, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know that one. That's a good question, Tyler.
Well, I think
You're
that
not
was
asking us tough questions. We pre-screen these questions.
sorry. No more tough questions. What do you
Next
use with your hair to
question
look so nice?
is
Sorry,
powder, and yeah.
easy question.
Anyway, go ahead, sir.
No, so I think ultimately, I like that there's a team focus because, like you said, there could be really maybe some small clubs or just some teams with a lot of really talented players that don't get to play in the proper platform for their talent and exposure. And this could at least start that. I don't see it finishing that quite yet. So maybe this is just a step. I would really like if we could get rid of I think the club-based model personally for a platform where my whole club has to be in the platform or not is really a money grab. And it's not
Mm,
about kids' development at that point because it should be driven,
mm,
talent driven. But that's just my opinion on the topic. And so once
mm.
we get to that point
That's a hot topic.
and your teams can advance through and play at the top level, not your whole club that has to do it. It also corners people into certain clubs in certain areas that have the most money. So once again, we have to try to get away from that in the United States if we want to be more competitive and focus on our diverse, huge population of soccer players that are available. So we're getting the best players playing at the best levels all over the place. Until that change happens, I think this is a step in the right direction for a lot of stuff that's happened, obviously, but there's still more we can do.
Yeah, that opens a can of worms. But you're right. I think there is so much identity put on a league instead of the club now, and I think that's unfortunate.
That's a good point. Yep. That's even taking my argument another level.
Yeah, no, it is. You're identifying my club is an ECNL club. Okay, what happens if ECNL changes its name, or what happens if you
They go
also
bankrupt. Yeah.
what happens if you get mad at ECNL and you switch to MLS Next? Now all of a sudden you're an MLS Next club. I and I you see too much of it based on it, and I'm not again. If we look at Rush, we have a club at every single platform. So I think these platforms are valuable, and obviously there's no question, when you especially looking at ECNL, because I know someone's going to comment. When you look at ECNL, that's where the majority of players are coming from for Division I colleges on the girls' side, and MLS Next is like, so they serve a really good purpose. So I'm not knocking any of that, but it's I'm so tied to this, but it doesn't make you a better coach. It doesn't make you a better club. It doesn't make you better at developing players. We're in tryout season. It's like, oh, they reach out, oh, I want to play in RL. Why? Well, I think it's better. Okay. There's RL clubs that one of their teams just they I saw them. They gave up like 55 goals this year in 10 games, and like they scored one goal. Okay, does that mean they're a better team than no? So it I don't know. So I agree with you. We put so much emphasis on the league instead of the club and the development, and and it's the same argument we have with Division One that, "Oh, I'm going Division One. It must be better." No, it's the same. I think they correlate exactly. Find a fit for you. Find a club that you like the coaching, the environment, the culture, and a club that will develop you. You will go just as far as, and that's whole other soapbox that I just got on.
Sorry. Didn't mean to get you on that.
But you're right. Anyway, sorry. So back to League One.
Yeah. Once again, I think this is a great start. I think everything's going in the right direction. I like that there's a little bit more team focused. I like that there's connection between platforms working together. And so I hope this is a bridge that continues to be built and we continue to do the right things for development across U.S. soccer.
And I think one of the things that makes it really great is obviously I run a smaller club. I think it's great for the small clubs because ECNL, like they're not going to continue to expand. I mean, hopefully, you can't dilute it. You can't have 10 ECNL clubs in one market. So there's clubs that have missed that boat, hypothetically, right? 2 years ago, they were a little smaller. Now they've grown there, and they're not able to get into that league, which they feel. And so this to me is fantastic. It is a fantastic opportunity for one, all clubs, and two, for clubs that don't have a platform. I'm one of them. We have some really talented teams, but not all of our teams could be RL, and we're kind of a younger club too. So we have no chance to get an ECNL right now, or RL, whatever that is. So one of my teams are applying for National League One and national, and I think for smaller clubs that I think it goes heavily into play for a club, not a league. And I think this buys directly into it. So
There you
that's
go.
me. That's me. So that's the National One League. We'll have more as we're following the development. The map is, and let me share this map even. Let's get a little visual here so we can share the screen. This is the map that's happening.
Oh, I see you got your conferences, your Midwest here.
Yeah. So there's a split in the conferences. So in theory, Missouri, tier 1, you would travel some distance, but you're going to be meeting in the middle. Tier 2 is not going to travel as far. So these are the regions that they're split into. And then here's all your league operators. But yeah, so that's the map. If you're in tier 3, you're going to play, within these couple states, and then but that's what that looks like. So yeah. All right, Tyler, I got a question for you.
The ultimate college soccer recruitment roadmap. A step-by-step guide through the recruitment process, strategic recruitment planning. Take every month, every year, a step-by-step guide through the recruitment process. You can purchase the book at rushcollege.com/book. That is rushcollege.com/book. This will be the most helpful book you have read for the recruitment process. It is a must read if you want to play collegiate soccer. And you can find the book at rushcollege.com/book. Purchase now today for your exclusive copy.
So here's the question for you. Confidence. Is playing time directly related to confidence? Should playing time control your confidence?
You go ahead with your answer, because I've heard the soapbox today, and I feel it should be repeated for you.
I think that confidence is a state of mind that should not be related to playing time. I think that if you are prepping, and you can, because I'll ask you this, you're a communication major. If you're given a student, hey, you need to do a speech today, a class, what are you going to do for the next 2 weeks to give yourself confidence to prepare for the speech?
Practice that speech.
You're going to practice. You're going to study. My oldest son is in 9 days is turning 15, and he's going to take get his permit. What is he doing right now to figure out that test? He's studying the book, right? Like, and that's the confidence. Like, the instructor of his driving who we take the test can't change the confidence. Tyler, you can't change your student's confidence. You can give them the tools, but I think it's the same on the soccer field. Your playing time cannot dictate your confidence. What are you doing to prepare? Confidence is a state of mind. So what are you doing outside to prepare? So when you have that moment to step on the field, whether it's for 5, 10, 15 minutes, or 90 minutes, you're confident on the ball. You're confident in your ability to make a difference. And I don't think coaches can dictate that. And I think sometimes it goes the opposite. If they're not at the skill level of the rest of the team, and you throw them in this game and they're just getting beat up, they've lost. Again, now it says the opposite of confidence, because now they have no way to succeed. So that's my take on that. Playing time should not dictate confidence.
Yeah. I'll argue the other side of that is that playing time is a large contributor to confidence. I do not disagree that practice is a big part of that and is a big component to that. But, to use your analogies, someone that's practiced 500 hours and with a speech, and then has to go give that speech in front of an audience, all your practice can't simulate, that experience. And so having that experience versus someone that's given 500 speeches, right? They're going to be the one that's more confident because they've actually gone out and done it rather than just practiced it. Someone that studies a book on how to drive versus someone that's driving every day, who's the better driver? It's going to be the person that's driving every day. And they're going to get the confidence from failing and making mistakes in the moment rather than practicing and preparing for that. And so what I would argue is that the confidence comes from your situations and your learning and your experience in doing that. And a lot of times that's from actually playing the games. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you need playing time on the current team that you're on. It maybe is that you're on the wrong team. So you get more minutes by going to a team that suits your talent level better and has a better rotation because a lot of the players are equal in talent. And so that may be a solution when it comes to like sports and playing time. But for my kid, there are two things. Like if I get away from soccer, I go to basketball. Like, why in a game let's say basketball, when she gets pressed, is she going to turn the ball over? I think there's two reasons why, maybe three. It's technical skill, confidence, and composure. Well, how do I get better at my confidence and composure? Well, I have to improve my technical skill. So she's got to dribble all the time off the court, away from anybody, just practice dribbling and, handling the ball so you're comfortable in that situation. That will give you more confidence. But then the second part of the composure, I can't simulate composure with confidence at home in the driveway with no one around, right? You have to be put in that situation and actually play in that situation and fail in that situation to gain more confidence. And so that's my side of it
What
as
about
well.
okay? So okay, valid points. Unfortunately, man, I was really hoping just to totally disagree. Okay, so but valid. Okay, what about training though? Okay, so if you're put in a situation, and let's say you have a competitive training environment, like, aren't you building confidence at some level?
Yeah, of course. And that's why I said, the technical skills and things that you need to
But even the
gain when it
composure,
comes
let's
to
just go
training.
back to your basketball analogy, or we'll put it in soccer terms because this is a soccer podcast. Is that if every time someone pressures you, you panic and lose the ball? Okay, so we do sessions on 1v1, super simple. Tyler, I'm going to play you the ball. And I'm going to run at you. I'm going to simulate pressure, and okay, so now you start doing that because that's what you train. Why am I training you like Tyler? You're a center back and run at you every time with the ball. I'm doing that so you can get a little more confidence. Now, I can't dictate your confidence. I can put you in situations that may help your confidence. I can't give you more confidence because I bet you have a player on your team at Culver, and I know I have players that I don't want to mention names that she maybe plays 90 minutes and still struggles with confidence. So it becomes what I mean. So that's the flip side of it. You're playing all the time and you still don't think you're good enough. What do I?
Yeah.
Kid, you just scored 3 goals. Yeah, but I did this and this. I'm like, and
Yeah.
that's where like I think the
There is that. That's a great flip side of everything. Like, what if they do play all the time and
yeah.
they're not.
We all have those players, and like I'm not physically, but I
Well,
want to
that goes
punch.
back to your first statement was it is a state of mind.
Yeah.
And I agree with that
Yeah.
100%. It is a state of mind
All right,
because
that's it, everybody. Tyler agrees with me. Thanks for coming by.
we gave examples of it coming this way, but you're
Yeah.
like, well, I'm already playing, but then my confidence still is going this way, right? Like,
I look and you've heard this probably before, like they've just lost their confidence because they're not playing. And that's not. Don't put that on the coach. What are we doing outside of it? Like, what are we doing? And I think there's such an emphasis right now on the mental performance side of things. And I'm not bragging on KCMO, but we've had partnered with ACG and it's through Rush that once a month, first Monday, last Monday of every month, we do mental performance training. Like, what are you doing to help with your confidence? And I
yeah.
think so many people blame it on a coach to go, my son or daughter's lost confidence because you're not playing them. No. And you said originally, maybe they're not at that level. Maybe it's a tough team. So do well, here's a question for you. You got a kid that's not at that level. Do you keep putting them in the game? Because what's that do to their confidence?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the age. Now you're getting very circumstantial, right? If they're younger, absolutely.
Let's say older. Let's take 11v11 because I think in general by 11v11 that we're not in this kumbaya equal playing time. Let's all hold hands and play Red Rover. That's my assumption on 11v11.
I mean, I think their playing time should be less than others in that situation. I do think they should all have playing time. I'm at the college level, so there's no development that is worth stopping, in my opinion, at the high school level, sitting on the bench.
I'm not necessarily in playing time. I'm with you. They should get in the game. I'm saying
Okay. Yeah, they're gonna have less minutes. Yeah. And they may not.
does that game, if they get into this game and they're clearly outmatched, does that affect their confidence? If every time they get in the game, they're just getting freaking smoked.
Yeah. So you're saying I see your point. There could be an adverse effect to them playing at a level that's not where they're at currently. So that could also deplete their confidence. So you can blame the coach for not having playing time. You could blame the player for, getting in there, not having the talent ability to compete at that level. There's a lot of things that are affecting their confidence. I do think in a growth situation though, that's needed for growth, like failure is needed for growth. And so if they can't make it, they can't cut it.
And that's the other thing too. Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing. So yeah, anyway, that's I think that's a fun. I don't know, Tyler. I think it's always an interesting
It's
debate.
great. I'm gonna love to hear what people say and how they argue with us.
Yeah, we're gonna see. So
You
guys,
could do like your side and my side reel and see.
yeah.
what people think.
Thumbs up for Josh, heart for Tyler. We're gonna if you disagree with Tyler, put sizzle.
Sizzling, baby.
Sizzling. All right, guys. Hey, thanks so much for joining. This has been Cat Live. Tornado season in Tyler is the king of tornado chasing. The movie Twister was based on Tyler Tomlinson.
Based on my life, yeah.
That is the movie Twister. The Tyler Twister Tomlinson, everybody.
The Dorothy's named after my dog, Dorothy. R.I.P.